This is my one and only Knobthorn tree. I germinated this specimen in the spring of 2023 and we're in early January 2025. Much like my leopard trees, I really struggled to germinate. I think this is the 1 out of 50 seeds that I was able to bring to maturity, and truly one of my favorite of all the trees I have. It is of the Acacia species and comes from West and Southern Africa. And it's called knobthorn tree because as it ages, it develops these really interesting knobs on the branches and the trunks. Not evidence right now either that's going to come with age, but some don't have that characteristic. So this one we'll just have to see. What makes this one interesting is that unlike other acacias, it has more of an oval shape to the leaves, which give it the kind of a nice aesthetic as it grows older. So this one is interesting because it only grows in natural light. I've tried a million different things, different lights and wavelengths, but it simply would not grow. So in the winter it was under some harsh light, refused to grow. And then because it's deciduous, I decided to move it to a window just to let the leaves naturally drop and taper back on watering. And what happened was I saw a surge in growth over the winter, which is surprising. I expected it to lose all of its leaves, but here it is. It's got some decent growth that looks like it's going to either continue all the way into the spring. And some species really need to have that dormancy, but other than putting this in a dark, cold room, I don't know what else to do. So I'm going to just let it be and see what happens in the spring. But what I've liked about this one is that the trunk is thickened up really nicely, and without any work on the branches, it's kind of ramificated by itself. Not crazy about the branch structure, but because this is my only specimen, I just want to be really careful about pruning, and I'm probably going to let it grow out and to mature before I take any chances. I may see if I can air layer a branch later on just to see if I can get another specimen out of this seed before I make any changes to the root structure of the branches. But really a good looking tree. Excited to see how it continues to grow, but for 2 years it's doing okay, especially when you consider this is definitely a non-natural environment for it. One of the challenges I had when I was struggling, it had some spider mite activity, and that's not uncommon for some of these trees that struggle to do well in the colder, wetter conditions here in Canada. So this one, I expect some vigorous growth. I think it has a more established root system. May give it a bigger pot in the spring and see what it does, and then see if I can maybe get a cutting or a graft or something out of this tree to see if I can diversify this line, because if I mess this one up, I'm not going to have another one to work with. And considering that it was so difficult to germinate, I definitely don't want to take any chances. But let's see how this one goes, and in the spring I'll give an update.